Oh, the words from the pages change your world. They can change your heart. They can change your mind. They can change your life. Black Wall Street Book can change your world.
The new Black Wall Street Book Club can absolutely change your world because it can help to change the way that you think. And when you change the way that you think, you'll begin to change the way that you talk. You'll begin to change the way that you act. When you begin to change the way that you talk and begin to change the way that you act, you'll begin to change your habits. And as you change your habits, you'll begin to change your results. And as you change your results is really what makes up your life. This is the new Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book like the Bible. You put it in a book like Daily Motivations for African American Success by Mr. Dennis P. Kimbro. You put it in a book like The Black Billionaires Club. And we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if. During my time living on this earth, I realized everybody don't want to be rich. Everybody don't want to build wealth. Everybody don't want to leave an inheritance to their children. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. We can begin that study by picking up a $25 book that can change the way that you think about money and also learn what they have done to get to where they are today. And if you know what they have done, then that means that you simply can learn how to do it too and have similar success in your life. Well, you can find that by simply going to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can pick up your copy today. You'll find that link in the description above or below, okay? Above or below. Let's find out who's here with us this morning. The early bird gets the worm. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, as we're going to be getting into continue our series into the Book of Psalms, and then also continuing our series into daily motivations for African-American success, okay? Let's find out who's here with us this morning. Grand rising to your queen, Lisa Santiago McNeil. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Queen Yolanda YKJ 2020. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Queen Selena is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Queen Gloria has joined us here today. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Queen Vivian is in the house, as always. Thanks so much for always showing up. Mrs. Consistent herself. Queen Alicia is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Queen Jennifer Janifa. Yeah, that's right. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Queen Yvette is in the house, man, out of Brooklyn. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Again, as we are going to basically be getting back to the basics. Back to the basics. During times of turmoil, times of strife, times of trauma and drama and all that stuff, man, it's always good to come back to your firm foundation if you have one. If not, establish one, right? During these times where people actually start to get closer. So there's a time and season for everything. And we'll go, once we get to Ecclesiastes, that's really going to make some sense to us. But we're going to continue along in our journey into the Book of Psalms. So today, we'll be going through Psalms 117 and 118. I wanted to get to 119, but 119 is pretty dang on long. So that might take a couple days just to get through 119, okay? I mean, 119, oh, Lord. Woo, that might be a whole week of study in Psalm 119 by itself. But anyway, we got 150 Psalms, and so we're just doing our reading. That's it. God said, hey, stop talking about what people are not doing. Be the leader and show them what to do. And basically said, just read the book, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, and then he said, hey, as you run, other people start running with you. They'll start reading their book. And I said, okay, well, that's a good thing. And the more we meditate on your word, the better success that we'll have. And that's exactly what we do here today on Daily Motivation. Now, I consider the Psalms, the Book of Psalms, to be a song for my soul. A song for my soul. So as I'm reading, I'm literally singing to my soul. That's what I'm doing. Now, I had somebody that come on my page yesterday saying all this stuff about what we should and should not be doing. You know what I did? I just simply blocked them. I said, I'm going to do what God told me to do. I care nothing about what your opinion is. You can get off my page because you typically want to show up to argue. You want to show up to show your discontent, but you won't start nothing. No, you won't be a leader. You're a bad follower, and you got to go. That's it. What you got to do? You got to let them go. You know what I'm saying? I hate to see you leave, but, please excuse yourself up out of here, up out of here, up out of here. Grand rising to you, Queen Kathy Nicole is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Now, we're going to start our journey this morning into Psalm number 117. Very short, very simple, right to the point. New Black Wall Street Book Club, Psalm number 117. We'll find out from Queen Gloria what this is all about and the power of Psalms as well. Everybody put in comments over the power of Psalms. The power. I like that. I like the power that's in these Psalms. Psalm number 117, New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's read. Praise God, everybody. Applaud God, all people. His love has taken over our lives. God's faithful ways are eternal. Hallelujah. His love has taken over our life. Everybody put in the console. His love has taken over my life. God's love has taken over my life. God's love has taken over my life. God's love has taken over. Now, when we say that, what that simply means is that we've given up control. We say, no, I no longer want to be in control anymore. I've tried it my way. I'm ready to try it God's way because of his love. Because of his love. God's love has taken over my life. God's love has taken over my life. Psalm number 117. Psalm number 117, man, a song from my soul. Absolutely pray for you, Miss Yvette. Do Godspeed in your healing. Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us. Power, right? The power that's in these songs, the power of Psalms. Absolutely, man. His love has taken over my life. Turn to self-pity, shortest book. It's the shortest book in the Bible. Look at that. The shortest book in the Bible. God's love has taken over my life. Psalm number 118 here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. No subtitle here. For those that don't know, I'm coming out of the Message Bible, so I don't know what Bible you might be reading from. I don't have any numbers, so I just read and we just get through this. So, you know, you guys hopefully you can keep up. But Psalm number 118. Psalm number 118 here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's read. Thank God because he's good. Because his love never quits. His love never quits. Everybody put that in the comments below. God's love never quits. So first we have God's love that's taking over our lives. And then it's the same love that never quits. That never quits. Tell the world, Israel, his love never quits. And you, clan of Aaron, tell the world, his love never quits. And you who fear God, join in. His love never quits. Pushed to the wall, I called to God. From the wide open spaces, he answered. God's now at my side, and I am not afraid. Who would dare lay a hand on me? God's my strong champion. I flick off my enemies like flies. Far better to take refuge in God than to trust in people. It is far better to take refuge in God than it is to trust in people. Far better to take refuge in God than to trust in celebrities. Hemmed in by barbarians in God's name, I rub their faces in the dirt. Hemmed in and with no way out in God's name, I rub their faces in the dirt. Like swarming bees, like wild prairie fire, they hem me in. In God's name, I rub their faces in the dirt. I was right on the cliff edge, ready to fall, when God grabbed and held me. God's my strength. He's also my song. And now, he's my salvation. God is my strength, my song, and my salvation. Everybody put that in the comments below. God is my strength, my song, and my salvation. Hear the shouts. Hear the triumph songs. In the camp of the saved, the hand of God has turned the tide. The hand of God is raised in victory. The hand of God has turned the tide. I didn't die. I lived. And now I'm telling the world what God did. God tested me. He pushed me hard, but he didn't hand me over to death. Swing wide the city gates, the righteous gates. I'll walk right through and thank God. This temple gate belongs to God. so the victors can enter and praise. Thank you for responding to me. You've truly become my salvation. The stone the mason discarded as flawed is now the capstone. This is God's work. We rub our eyes. We can hardly believe it. This is the very day God acted. Let's celebrate and be festive. Salvation now. God, salvation now. Oh, yes, God, a free and full life. Blessed are you who enter in God's name. From God's house, we bless you. God is God. He has bathed us in light, festooned the shrine with garlands, hang colored banners above the altar. You're my God, and I thank you. Oh, my God, I lift high your praise. Thank God. He's so good. His love never quits. His love never quits. Grand Rising City King of Mar. That was Psalm number 118. Obviously, I think we're going to call that one His Love Never Quits. His love never quits. His love never quits. God's love never quits. Right? Psalm number 118, silence those unbelievers. Those unbelievers, those people, hey, it's funny, it's interesting. Those people that just simply don't believe. They don't believe that a better life is available to them. They don't believe that they can get out of debt. They don't believe that they can get rich. They don't believe in much anything other than what they have always believed. I don't know. God's my strength, my song, and my salvation. Amen to you, Queen Yvette. I will look to the hill where comes my help. My help comes from the Most High. Absolutely. God is my strength, my soul, and my salvation. God is my strength and my salvation. Now, again, guys, we would get into Psalm number 119, but let me tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I said 11. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 23, man. We might be on Psalm 119 all of next week, okay? Oh, tomorrow's Friday. Today's Thursday. Well, we'll start Psalm 119 tomorrow, but we might be in it all week. Yeah, that probably like Psalm 150 as well. But yeah, Psalm number 117, 118. This is our breakfast manna, where we are not only just we are feeding our soul and our mind. God says that we shall not live off of bread alone. That's our physical body. But we do have a mind, body, and soul. And so we feed our mind, we feed our soul as well. And I just, suggest that we make sure we have a healthy diet, right? And so not only do we do this in the morning, but do this again when you get ready for your lunch, your noonday, meal. Get you some lunch manna. And then again, when you get ready for your evening dinner, get you some dinner manna as well. And that way you can just fulfill your part of meditating on the word day and night. I mean, if you just simply meditate on this, that his love never quits. If you just simply think about all the times that God showed up for you and showed you and proved to you that his love never quits. If you just simply meditate on that all day long. Think about where your place will be. I mean, how in the world could worry enter into your space if all you're thinking about is how God's love never quits? How in the world could fear enter into your space if all day long all you are meditating on is that God's love never quits? How could worry interrupt your day if all you're thinking about all day long is that God's love never quits? How could anxiety mess you up today if all day long all you're thinking about is how God's love never quits? How could stress mess you up if all day long all you were thinking about is how God's love never quits? That's a decision of intentionality for you to be able to do here today. All right, guys. We are going to transition into our daily motivations for African American success. This is a book written by a Black author, Brother Dennis P. Kimbro, one of the great authors of our day. And so I just suggest when you come across any of his literature that you pick it up and support the brother who writes literature to help Black folk to help themselves. That's exactly what I see. And everything he writes is all about helping Black folk to actually help themselves. Today's title: Who is your scapegoat? Who is your scapegoat? And here is our quote today. Comes from Thurgood Marshall. You guys remember him, the Supreme Court Justice. Thurgood Marshall says this, and I quote, "Each of us must earn our own existence. And how does anyone earn anything? Through perseverance, hard work, and desire." I repeat that again. Thurgood Marshall says this, and I quote, "Each of us must earn our own existence. And how does anyone earn anything? That's through perseverance, hard work, and desire." Perseverance, hard work, and desire. No, we're going to dive into it tomorrow. We'll start it tomorrow. So let's find out what Brother Dennis Kimbro has for us here today for our daily motivation here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Who is your scapegoat? Let's read. The Old Testament book of Leviticus describes the sacred custom of using a scapegoat once a year to atone for the sins, the mistakes, and failures of the Israelite nation. In a solemn ceremony, Aaron, the high priest, will lead a goat to the outskirts of the camp. There he will place his hands on the goat's head and confess over it all the sins of the Israelite people. Through this symbolic act, the goat took on the sins. It was then allowed to escape and wander in the wilderness, presumably to die. The term scapegoat is still with us today, but it is not used in reference to a sacred ceremony. Now people use it to describe what or who they choose to blame for their problems or mistakes. Some people make scapegoats of their parents. Others blame their woes on the government, the economy, their school, their company, or their boss. Instead of working on what's going on inside them, they try to blame what is going on around them. Let me repeat that again. Instead of working on what's going on inside of them, they try to blame what is going on around them. It's always easier and more convenient to assume that the answer or the blame lies elsewhere. But life is a do-it-yourself proposition. Everybody put in console, do-it-yourself. Life is a do-it-yourself proposition. Life is a do-it-yourself proposition. We increase our ability and stability, says rhythm and blues great Curtis Mayfield, when we increase our sense of accountability and responsibility. You must accept personal responsibility for the quality of your performance. You are responsible for your reaction to the circumstances in your life. You are responsible for your reaction to the circumstances in your life. Grand rising to you, Joseph, Queen Joseph. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. Right? Who is your scapegoat? Now, here is our affirmation of the day. Here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, our daily motivation. Here's where we are going to plant a seed of thought into our very own membrane, our subconscious, and we can drive that thing deep and cover it up and get it in there real nice by repeating it over and over and over again until we bring forth a harvest, some 30, some 60, some 100-fold back into our life. Here's where we're going to actually use the power that's been given unto us by God, the power of our very own tongue, to speak life into our life, to speak life into our life. As he said, for us to work on what's going on in the inside. We're going to do this 3 times. That way we take some time to really capture this moment. Our affirmation of the day, let me catch up on these comments. Right, that's right. That's it right there. We can't fail to do inner work. Do it yourself. Absolutely. Good morning. Good morning to you, Joseph. Here's our affirmation of the day. Repeat after me. I am responsible for me. I point no fingers. I give no excuses and offer no scapegoats. Affirmation day, let's do it again. Repeat after me. I am responsible for me. I point no fingers, give no excuses, and offer no scapegoats. This is tough. Woo, this is tough. Affirmation of the day, let's do it one more time. It's time for the people in the back, the people in the way back. Want to make sure that they know we mean business. When we do it this time, I want you to do it. I want you to say it like you really mean it. Say it with some conviction. Say it with your chest. We want to drive this seed of thought deep into our subconscious here today. Repeat after me. I am responsible for me. I point no fingers, give no excuses, and offer no scapegoats. Whew. That one kind of hurt. It's like, whew. Oh, no. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for me. Is it possible, ladies, sisters, goddesses, mothers, that you've overlooked the responsibility for you as you've been trying to be responsible for everybody else? Great habit, great attitude. But have you overlooked your responsibility for you? I am responsible for me. I point no fingers. I give no excuses. And I offer no scapegoats. Whoo! Woo! See, some people can't even write it. It's like, oh, woo! This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book, like the Bible. You put it in a book, like Daily Motivations for African American Success by Mr. Dennis P. Kimbro. You put it in a book, like The Black Billionaires Club and How They Built Their Wealth by none other than me. We absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, and I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we are all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ hits the music.